Hi guys, hello, I'm Dwi Jihantari. When I took the TOEFL, I was so nervous before the listening sections because, the listening section is really hard, and I have to listen to the native speaker. I have to answer the question also, and sometimes that I have no idea what should I put, what should I answer to the question. So guys, if you want to have a really high score in TOEFL listening, you do, and of course that you need the right strategy, right? So in this occasion, I'm going to tell you my 5 tips how to get a really high score in TOEFL listening. Without further ado, let's get started. The first one is focus on the right things. So guys, in TOEFL listening, you don't need to understand everything in order to get a high score, because some of that information is simply not important because it's not relevant to the questions asked. So in fact, you only need to understand the information that is relevant to the questions. So this means the information that you need in order to answer the questions correctly, and this means that you must have the right focus. In fact, if you try to understand everything in TOEFL listening, this may even lower your score, because then you do not focus anymore because you try to understand everything there and you do not pay so much attention as you would need in order to answer the questions correctly. So focusing on the right one is the first step. Alright, the second tips is know the question types. So guys, in TOEFL listenings, there are 2 types of questions. There are conversations and lectures. And it's really important that you know these 2 types and that you know what kind of question may be asked with regards to these 2 types. In TOEFL, when you're sitting in the test, you will know like what kind of question you may be asked and why is that so important. If you're sitting the exam and you are doing TOEFL listening sections, you will listen to a lot of informations, right? And as we just said, that you need to know what you need to focus on, and if you know what kind of question you may be asked after the listening task, you know what you need to focus on when doing the listening task. So when you are sitting there, you are listening to the information and you know, okay, I need to focus on this one, or this because I may be asked it later. So yep, that is the second tips. The third tips is take a good notes. So in TOEFL listening, you will listen to a lot of informations, and the problem is that after you have listened to all this information, you need to answer question and you cannot go back and listen to this stuff again. So this means that you can only rely on your memory and on your notes. That's why taking notes is really important, because it's really difficult to remember all of the important information that has been said. The next tips is choose an answer. Yeah, I think this is one of the best tips. I think, because sometimes when you try to answering the listening section question, you do not even know like what the answer is, and you think that it's really hard and you don't know the answer. You just answer that question. There are 2 possibilities, whether or not you get it correct or you got it wrong. Because we don't know that is correct or wrong, you just answer. Fortunately, if you get it correct, alhamdulillah. But when you get it wrong, it's okay. At least that you try and believe in yourself. Alright, the last tips is practice listening. I know that this tips seems quite obvious, but I want to talk about it nevertheless because it's really important, and we tend to underestimate that in order to get a high score in TOEFL listening, you have to practice. You have to listen to spoken English. I know that it can be difficult to listen to spoken English if you don't live in English speaking environment. But when I took the TOEFL, I had never lived in English speaking environment. before, so I had to rely on the other things that were available for me. And there are quite a few things you can use, for example, like listening to English TV series or movies, listening to the news, because this will help you to get used to listening to spoken English. So it's really important to take a practice listening. Maybe that it is good when you can like practice, do the practice every single day, but it's okay if you are too busy. You can take it like once or twice in a week, and when you do it regularly and with consistently, it will so helpful for you, trust me. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Those are my 5 tips for you to maybe to get a high score in TOEFL listening test. So I hope that it can help you, and thank you. Bye bye.